Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review. This is episode number 36, and this we're reviewing the 822nd episode for the One Piece anime, and that's Deciding to Say Goodbye, Sanji and his Straw Hat Bento. Yeah, that's seriously the name of the episode. This episode is, well, let's just say the episode the plot of this particular arc with this particular episode does advance a bit per se. You see, like, in a few different settings, like you see Brook in Big Mom's bedroom. Well, of course, with Big Mom and Pudding, they're talking, and of course, Brook over here. Well, Brook is clearly conscious. He's not moving per se, but he's hearing everything both Big Mom and Pudding are saying about what they're going to do to the Volsmog family. They're going to kill them on the day of the wedding. Yep, they're going to kill them. And of course, I'm like, now, there is a particular scene I would have loved to see in this particular anime, but apparently this anime chose not to put the scene in there. And that's basically Carrot introduce herself to Jinbei. Because, as far as I know, that particular thing was, I don't know why they didn't do that for it. Just like, oh, they're just in the mirror world, even though that they never really showed it at all, which was bizarre. Yeah, I'm kind of like, okay, you see that Chopper, Carrot, Chopper, Carrot, Broly, Breely, and Pedro just happened to find Jinbei and Nami in the previous episode. In this episode, oh, they're in the mirror world for some unexplained reason. Yeah, they don't really show them actually going into the mirror world for some really weird reason. I don't know really what was the whole point of that. And pretty much, Nami and Jinbei pretty much kind of update the group exactly what's going on, and they later take the little steam train wagon thing and try to find Luffy, Sanji, and Brook. They're the only three who are still missing. Yep. And yeah, Jinbei is rebelling against Big Mom. Breely is now finally noticing this, and yeah, not much else to say about the other group. Yeah, their plot doesn't move much forward at all. Luffy is seen, well, first hopping around trying to get past these two chess pieces, got on top of the building, look around to see what direction he's going to meet Sanji at Reivew. Oh, and Rinja, Sanji's older sister, yeah, she's looking out the broken window Luffy broke in the previous episode. Yep. And she just said, oh, and someone pointed this out. Apparently in the manga, I completely forgot about this, but this scene included a panty shot for Ranji, basically, where the shirt was actually a little bit shorter and actually show her panties from behind. Yeah. Yeah, someone was questioning, like, why in the world would they censor this for? I mean, it's one of the most bizarre censors I have ever seen. It's really, really weird. Now, this episode is, I know it's probably adapted from chapter 854. Oh yeah, it does adapt the last 14 pages of the chapter, which is great. The fact that it does that, which means next episode is 855. What they're going to adapt that particular chapter. As for how much of the chapter going to adapt, I don't know. But yeah, let's see what else happened. Oh yeah, Luffy, of course, after he gets on top of the tower, the chess pieces slice it up. There was a couple unknown people. I don't know who these people are. They don't really identify them. One has a sword. The other one can turn into a ball. Let's see if I can find out who these people are. I think it's not Diesel per se. It is. Yeah, online they don't really name exactly who the heck these two people are who were fighting Luffy. Yeah, that's the weird thing. The anime does identify who these people are, and I can't find who these people are. Just the guy turns to a ball and the guy throws swords. Yeah, and Luffy beats these guys. It takes him a little while, but he does beat them. And just after he beats them, he beats them, well, first by taking out the chest piece by dragging both inside the smoke. Knocks him out, and then goes to second gear. Takes out the the guy who rolls and takes out the other guy by simply just punching him and he just runs away. Yeah, it's a really quick fight. Sanji, of course, is seen punching one of the homies. Actually, not one of the homies. I think it's one of Big Mom's men. And there's also a scene in here, I got to talk about this, where it looks like most of Big Mom's children are basically talking exactly like what says the Straw Hat crew, where pretty much everybody's been captured so far, and just, well, rumor of Jinbei rolling around, and of course also there's rumor of Nami and Luffy breaking out, and of course Opera lying the fact that that he killed him, even though he really didn't. Yep. And let's see, Sanji of course takes out one of the soldiers because he tries to eat one of meat that was one of Luffy's favorites. And also, for the first time since the previous arc, we get a chance to see, though it's a fantasy per se, it's a flashback of seeing Robin, Frankie, Usopp, and Zoro. Yeah, seeing these 4 characters again, wow, I was so happy to see these characters, because if you just watch the anime and don't read the manga, you're like, man, it's been a while since we've seen these guys. But yeah, no one's seen these guys since the end of the previous arc. Though the filler arc, it was basically, anime was 2 arcs back, but yeah, it was the Zoo arc. The last time anybody saw these 4. But yeah. Let's see, what else? Not much else to say about this episode. Of course, next week is when they're gonna rescue Brook from Big Mom. Yep. Though when I looked it up, basically, yeah, this is all they add to the whole thing. Just Luffy fighting against the 2 soldiers. Let's see. Yeah, and the whole Diesel refusing to go because of the weight thing, yeah, that was added. That's not part of the original thing yet, because I mentioned that before. And of course, the conversation between Big Mom and Pudding did happen, but the whole third eye thing. And also, I should point this out, though, this is the first book seeing the third eye, because the only people who've actually seen the third eye has been Sanji. At this point, of course, Big Mom's probably already seen it already, because, well, it's her daughter. The only characters who saw at this point Pudding's third eye is just Reggie, though she doesn't remember it, Sanji, and Brook. Yep, and that's it. Though she does refer to Brook by name, she referred to as that skeleton. Even Brook was so surprised the fact that Pudding referred to him as that. And Big Mom puts him like some kind of like dressed him like some kind of doll per se, like some kind of sack. In the manga, she just keeps him as a skeleton. Like, she doesn't put anything on him. He's basically look like he's almost butt naked, but that's basically the way she is. Though, I'm surprised she didn't bring up the fact that, I'm surprised she didn't ask Brook, like, why did you call me young lady for? Yes. I would have loved to see that in the anime, or at least where Big Mom asked that of Brook, like, why did you call me that for? And she's probably questioning, like, how old is this skeleton? And he just says, I'm older than you. I'm 90. Of course, Big Mom is 66 years old. Yeah. But otherwise, though, not much for advance per se. Overall, per se, there's a little bit of advance per se, but it does feel like that the plot is kind of moving forward. Yeah, but no, in the anime, the plot is moving at a snail's pace. That's really the biggest problem of how they adapted the whole cake arc so far, is that at certain points it seems like you see the plot moving forward. In this episode, it moves forward, I'd say a little bit, but at least they finished adapting 854, which is great. Overall, oh yeah, and normally I would have talked about the next chapter at this point. Here's kind of the thing. There is no new chapter. I mentioned this last week. For some reason, it's taking a week off again, though I've heard there's going to be a delay in it. So maybe next week's chapter is going to be more than 17 pages. Maybe it's going to be close to like 30 or 40. It's probably going to be a really long chapter. Though I have heard from some spoilers, per se, this next chapter is going to wrap up this arc, which has been going on since chapter 825. Yeah, this has been one long arc per se, yes. It is overall like 60, I think it's like 68 chapters. Yeah, this in the manga, it's been going a little over a year, and finally it looks like that this arc will wrap up and will go on for almost 2 years. Yeah. Excuse me. That's what it looks for the manga per se when it comes to this particular arc. The anime probably won't get that far, probably not for a little while. But hey, at least it gets more time to catch up because they just finished adapting 154. So that means they're exactly 38, at least 38 chapters behind once again. But probably next week they're probably going to be about 37 chapters behind. Possibly. They're probably going to still be 38 behind. But it just depends exactly how much of chapter 155 they're going to adapt. But it looks like as of right now, it looks like the possibly 856 probably start adapting that. The episode that's going to be, it's probably going to be in about 2 weeks. Yes, that's my personal guess. It's probably sometime next month this is finally going to happen. Yep. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention this also. It looks like the overalls make, it kind of looks like that the bottom portion of the overalls that Nami's wearing, they look very baggy, like really bulky because, well, she got it from a big guy. Yeah, because she got rid of the dress she was wearing because that dress was all torn up. And she mentioned several episodes back that she really needs a shower, which she's going to get that in a couple episodes. 2 or 3 episodes at least. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But otherwise, though, that's really it. I am looking forward to next week's episode. It doesn't look like in next week's episode that Luffy's going to reunite with Sanji. That does not look like it's going to happen at all. But it does look like that. It does look like Brook's rescue. Of course, next week's episode is called Betraying one of the four Emperors, the Great Brook Rescue Plan. Yeah, that's what next episode is going to be called. Yep, that's exactly what next week's episode will be called overall. But yeah, so that's it. Stay tuned for next week. We'll talk about that episode and hopefully chapter 382. Alright? But until you see you next episode, bye.